New Jersey Motorsports Park, the WSK World Series Round 2, hosted by Championship Karting International, will kick off the day with qualifying in Super KF, KF2, KF3, and KZ2, and then later this afternoon we'll have our qualifying heat races. American drivers Tristan DeGrand, Phil DeLeo, and Gary Carlton were near the top of the speed charts yesterday. Let's see how they fare in qualifying and heat races today.
All right, fellas, so you're the top two Americans in KF2. I know maybe, Phil, you weren't quite as happy with your results as Gustavo was, but both of you did an awesome job today. So let's start with Phil. Phil, just kind of walk me through, like, qualifying forward, you know, kind of what happened today.
All right, qualifying wasn't our best effort. We were a little bit off in our setup, which cost us majorly since everybody's so close and intense with all the competition going on. So we were disappointed in that, but we just kept working with our setup and tried to make it better and better. And so going into the first heat, my driving wasn't what it should have been, and you know, we ended up back in 15th. And so the second heat, I knew what I was up against, so kind of stepped up my game. The kart was there, and we were making good progress. I think we're in the top 10 on the first lap, and then some contact took me out of it, and started from the back and ended up 15th again. And so going into the final heat, starting 15th, we knew we had a good setup, good enough to run in the top 10 easy. So we just kept pushing, kept going, and tried to make a good start and a good effort. And it ended up fine. We were 8th at one point, and then finished off at 9th. So we were happy with our effort in the last heat.
So, you know, it seems like you have good speed now. It sounds like you're getting kind of used to the racing. You know, what's your mindset going into the pre-finals?
My mindset is win, and it always has been, but it's going to be very difficult. There's some very fast drivers, very high level of talent. We're going to have to just pull out all the stops and do our best with our setup that we have.
Okay, so Gustavo, pay attention, buddy.
Sorry.
All right, all right. So you had a really solid day. Same thing, just walk me through, you know, qualifying forward and kind of tell me what happened today.
Yeah, today was a really strong day. Hopefully tomorrow can be too. Qualifying wasn't exactly what I expected it to be, but luckily we managed to pull out 10th. Me and my teammates worked together, and we all qualified right next to each other. And in the first heat, it was tough. I mean, the guys really know how to race, so you really got to be ready for it. It's a completely different mindset, and you just got to take advantage of the first few laps, because that's where all the action happens. Then you just got to try to break away. I finished 6th in that one, and then in the second one, I was able to break away with the top 5 runners, and for a while I was running in 5th just there, and in the last lap there was a little bit of contact, and we were all racing for it, and I was able to take advantage of the position I was in and put myself to 3rd in the last turn, and that's where I finished. In the last one, we started 3rd, and it was a really good start. Me and my teammate D'Agosto took off, and we were in 1st and 2nd for about half a race, but with about 3 laps to go, 4th and 5th and 6th caught me up, and we were battling to the last lap, and I got in a bit of contact and fell up to 5th. But yeah, it was solid. Today was really good, and we're starting tomorrow in 4th.
That last heat looked like, you know, you were up to 2nd, and then it seemed like you faded a little bit. So what are you guys doing with the setup to try and find a little bit more speed and see if you can hang with the front runners?
Well, first, for this type of elimination heats, you really want to take advantage of the beginning, because that's where everything happens. Then you just got to break away and hold on. So, I mean, we were running pretty high on tire pressure so that we could stay there, because if you run low, it takes too long to come in, and when you're in that kind of battle, it's not a good idea unless you're really, really fast. And we made some changes. We're going to see what we can do. We got tomorrow's morning practice, and I think it'll be really strong for the pre-final and final.
Qualifying was a struggle for us, definitely, but I think we made it through by the end of the day. Slowly progressing and slowly getting faster and faster, and that definitely helped us in the end. the first heat we had a little accident going into the second to last corner. Somebody hit me from behind and threw me off track, but we recovered and we made up a few positions back. And the second heat did go a lot better. We were able to make it into the top 15. Third heat was just as good, and that was finally able to get us into the top 15. So.
Yeah, qualifying was great. We came out and we were 5th and started 5th for the first heat and ended up finishing 4th in that heat, and it was really great and gave us a lot of confidence to build on for the second heat. And then going into the second heat, starting 4th, we knew that we were on the outside and knew that we had to get a good start. And so we tried as hard as possible, but ended up crashing midway with another driver, which was unfortunate, and we're disappointed in that. It's frustrating at times. You just gotta stay confident and keep with it, and I know that it'll end up being good, and we're hoping for the best.
What's this experience been like so far?
Go ahead.
I thought it was a great experience. First race in Portugal, I loved it. Since then, I've been hooked on racing with these Europeans. They're trying to do as many races as possible. I think that this has definitely changed the way I drive now. Well, it's definitely aggressive, but I have to give them props where it's very respectful, and I enjoy that kind of competition. It gives me a challenge, and it makes me push even harder than what I'm already pushing.
Yeah, I mean, this experience is great, and it just learned so much from it, and how to push myself even farther, and that everyone should, if they have the chance, they should take it, and it's a really great experience.
First of all, congratulations. Both you had really strong runs today, and you're top Americans in your class. Let's start with Ron. Ron, it seemed like you were maybe a little bit frustrated yesterday, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but even today in qualifying, but as the day went on, it seemed like you got a lot stronger and just a lot racier. So kind of tell me about like the progression of the day.
I mean, we're not used to running this type of fuel, so we don't have a good baseline on it, so we're getting better at the carburation on the engine, so that thing's been getting a lot better than it was, and then just kind of figuring out the go-kart a little by little. So everything's improving slowly but surely, so need to come up with a little bit better game plan tomorrow and just frickin' calm down a little bit and try and hit lap after lap.
And you'd mentioned before, I think the last race you did, other than last weekend, was the Super Nats.
Yeah.
So is there a little bit of rust that you have to kind of brush off for a big event like that?
Oh, just like trying to get physically in shape better. I mean, I went and drove a few times before here, but not enough. So it's like I drove last weekend too, but yeah, definitely. It's like you put laps in, you get in better shape, it's easier to drive.
And in terms of kind of the level of aggression, the level of intensity in this race, do you feel like that's affecting you in a positive way, in a negative way?
No, that's not my weak point. I mean, definitely the aggression. I drive pretty aggressive anyways. I just need to always calm down, and driving against these people, I have no problem being aggressive. So it's a positive until I go a little too hard on driving it.
Tomorrow, what's kind of the game plan, without giving too much away, for improving in the pre-final?
I just need to make the thing basically consistent from the start to the end, because we're good for about the first 4 or 5 laps, and then it's starting to slide little by little more and more, and then I need to lean the carburetor down a little bit more, because it's good for 4 laps and then it gets not as good towards the end. So just got to keep tuning that little by little. Work on acceleration and work on keeping the tires at a good pressure the whole time.
Gary, I tried to grab you earlier after qualifying. You were having none of it. So just tell me kind of what happened in qualifying and then go from there.
Yeah, no, we had problems in qualifying in the first heat with the engine problems, and we still haven't really diagnosed it. So we changed the engine for the last 2 heats, and it was pretty good. I think our pace is fairly good. But unfortunately, the engine in qualifying, when it does run, it runs better. So if we can fix the problem on the other engine, I think we'll be quite good. I think we have a shot for the podium. With the problem in the first heat, we're gonna have to start maybe 6th or 7th in the pre-final, so that'll let Jonathan get away. But if we can start in the first couple rows for the final, have a good race, and don't let Jonathan get too far ahead, I think I got a shot at it, because I think my pace is really good and I'm really good in the infield. So I think if we make the engine run tomorrow, I have a really good shot.
What do you think is wrong with the good motor?
If I knew, I would change it. So obviously we haven't figured it out yet, but the guys at Tech Sev are working really hard, and Patrick has been doing a great job. So when it does run, we all know it runs really fast. So once he figures it out, I'm sure he will. We'll be really good. Depending on weather, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so it might be a lot different. Who knows? We'll wait for tomorrow. Whatever tomorrow brings us, for sure we'll be ready for it.